So I wanted to take a minute to explain exactly what anxiety is. So let's rewind about 50,000 years ago. Anxiety was meant for evolutionary purposes at that time to prepare us for fight or flight. So you've probably heard that, fight or flight. And this response was in order to allow us as cavemen, as we were hunting and looking for our next prey, to prepare ourselves if we were in danger. So what exactly would happen? We'd hear a rustle in the bushes. We would assume it could be potentially dangerous and really threaten our lives. So our body would send that signal to our brain to say, here it is, survival mode, go. Our digestive systems would shut down. Nowadays, that's what makes us feel like, oh my God, I got butterflies, I have to go to the bathroom. And back then, all of these sensations and our, muscles would tense up, preparing us in case we had to run and flee for our lives. We would get that adrenaline rush, the cortisol would start pumping. All of these systematic sensations were for a use at that time. We literally were in danger. We potentially could have been eaten alive by that prey, or we could have run and saved ourselves. So back then, that fear response was very necessary. Fast forward 50,000 years, and here we are. We're getting these sensations on a daily basis when there's really no threat or fear. So last time I checked, when you walked out your front door, you really weren't fearing if that rustle in the bush was a lion. So our bodies are making those same sensations, those same systematic responses to nothing that's really fearful and nothing that we really need to get defensive about. So what we really need to look at is our lifestyle. Why is it that we're reacting this way? Why is it that we're having this anxiety, which is really just the fear of an anticipation of something that could very well harm us? So nowadays, we're fearing things that legitimately aren't going to harm us. We're thinking more about the what ifs. What will people think of me? What if this happens? What if I get there and that happens? What will people say? How are people going to look at me? So as time has gone on, and if you look at our society these days, we're constantly worried about what other people think, about where we're going to go, about who we're going to be, if we're ever going to be good enough. And the overstimulation in our lifestyles has caused us to really fear and anticipate the worst in so many different situations. So next time those anxiety sensations start, you gotta really think, am I anticipating a lion jumping out of the bushes and potentially eating me alive? Probably not. So once we understand what our bodies are going through and why naturally this response system is actually in place, we gotta think logically about that next anxiety attack. We gotta think logically about whether or not there is actual real danger. I hope that helps explain a little bit about what anxiety is. Stay tuned, and we're going to go through a lot of tips and tricks about how to actually alleviate and reduce a lot of the anxiety that is unnecessarily presenting itself in our lives. See you soon.